Hey, Vibrant here. I wasn't going to go live. You know what? I was led to anyway. Just want to see what kind of energy this Taurus New Moon will bring us all. Hey, Vibrant here. Hey, hey, hey. So, the Taurus New Moon is upon us. It's the best time to start setting those intentions, getting the pad of paper out, start to make lists, visualize, get into the feeling energy space, act like it is already, and then manifest. This is a time to sow seeds, a time to plant seeds rather, formulate plans. Just gonna wait to the group chat to fill up a little bit. So talk to me, people. I'm taking questions. Let's get into what energies are coming for this new Taurus New Moon. Getting into this energy here. Hey, family. So, anybody want to get into some questions? I'm taking questions. One question per person. First come, first served. So I'm going to go into some energy that's supporting this Taurus New Moon. This Taurus New Moon is going to really there's a need for change, isn't it? There's an energy. We all want to get out of feeling stagnant, but this new moon is pretty much about patience and is about going within, discovering who you are, what it is that you want. It's also going to give us some time to really accept the way times are changing and how the world as we know it will never be the same again. And it's a crazy, crazy notion. One that is quite scary for many people. For others, it's mainly for the light workers. We understand that this is a time where we can actually home in on our skills, deal with our shadow side, deal with our impatience. This is really going to help us with our patience, the fact that we can't do the things that we want to do socially in this time. Obviously, the main thing is we want to keep safe and we want to not spread the virus any further. But it's really, really, really about just acceptance, having your faith, basically building faith. They said even if you've got a faith as small as a mustard seed, you have something to work with. So if we're able to look at what is actually happening and look at the positives, the fact that some people are able to spend time with family, get to know their children, take some time off. Some people have worked really, really hard for a number of years. They haven't been able to even have some time for themselves, find hobbies, what it is that they actually enjoy. Some people just live to work, and it's not a thing where they're working to live. It's a crazy state of affairs that's actually going on. So this time actually is a time where we can actually go within, start looking about what we want, setting those intentions, writing those lists, planting those seeds, writing those lists of what it is that you want to achieve, short and long-term goals. It doesn't necessarily have to be a goal that's going to cause some type of anxiety. Because I know sometimes when we talk about goals, people get into setting goals. It's sort of like setting yourself up for failure. You hear that some of the time as well. But it's not really about setting yourself up for failure. It's about giving yourself the ability to stretch yourself, to set yourself apart, to show yourself a new side of yourself. If we don't stretch ourselves, we never know what our potential really is. We need to stretch our capacity. And when we stretch our capacity, we then become more confident and more self-reliant. We're not so dependent on other people say so. We're not so dependent on people's approval even. Yeah, so we're able to actually step into our own power. We're actually able to start to formulate the plans that we've always really wanted to do in this time. We're not so much running around and traveling to and from a job. We're able to sit indoors and have time for introspection. Yeah. So take this time to write the lists. What are the things you see yourself doing? Start to write them down. Then to start to visualize. Get into the feeling space of it. Act as though it's already happening. One of my main things that I do right now, you see, especially when I'm feeling I'm having one of them low days, I will start saying how much I'm loved and how many people, how many different people love me, how I'm able to express my love, how freely I receive and give of love. The more I do that and the more I smile and the more I'm grateful for the fact that I do have the family that I have around me and the friends that I have, my connection to source, my relationship with the divine and how it has grown and has expanded, and we have been able to interact in a more fluid level. It hasn't been stagnated. It hasn't been where I'm fearful of what it is that I'm receiving. I'm now open to receiving the messages from my higher self and from the Most High, to that, and then to express it to the world. And whether or not I reach 1 or 2 people, I've done my bit. I'll feel comfortable. I think if I would have went to sleep and I didn't go live, I probably would have felt like, I should have really went live. And you don't know what's going to come up. You don't know what types of conversations are going to be had. You don't know where it's going even, or what it is that I'm led to come on here to say. But the energies are about change at the moment. And although we know that the Taurus New Moon is more of a stagnant kind of energy, it's very slow. It's about, like I said, going into yourself and introspection and allowing you time to learn patience and acceptance that some things things in life aren't guaranteed, and there are some things that we cannot physically change. But then it allows us to start looking in and homing in on what types of things that we actually can change, instead of beating our gums about what it is that we can't do and our restrictions, and feeling confined and feeling like we have to conform to a certain way of doing things. We've got to conform with how everyone else is doing, how everyone is doing things in the world. And this has given us a time to build the type of world that we want to see in our own front living rooms. Start from within our own little clusters. Start from your own family, then it builds, and then it builds, and then the energy then transforms, and it transpires to somebody else. Somebody else catches the energy. We're all interconnected. So the more we can build our confidence, our help with our inner peace, we're able to affect the universe in a big way. Sometimes we don't even think about how it is that our energy affects the universe. It's like when you're having a bad day and everyone in your house feels the energy, everyone. And until the energy is either transformed into something else, or the energy is transmuted into a different way of being or a different state, then it stays in there and it lingers and it affects the other people in the house. Then somebody else in the house has got a off vibe because the vibration isn't brilliant. Do you see what I mean? And then I go outside and I haven't shifted that energy, I've then brought that energy outside. Maybe I've cut off someone on the road, or maybe, we've exchanged a glance or a glare, and it's just a funny energy. It's very heavy, and I've brought that energy out and somebody else has picked it up and carries it on, and it's just like a snowball effect. The same way as they're talking about how this COVID-19 is like that, all this social distance and keep yourself far, a certain 2 meters distance, the less you are out in the open with everybody, exposed to all of the energies, exposed to all of the germs and the bacteria. This is how they've got us thinking, but they never really home in on the fact that even this energy of fear, this, oh my God, so COVID-19, we've got to be so careful. Even that alone is a huge energy that we are buying into, that is now then transferring to many different people all over, and we're all interconnected, and this fear is now multiplying. When what needs to happen now is confidence, faith in source, understanding that we are divinely led, that we're protected, that we are called to be our true selves. And in this time with this Taurus new moon, it's given us a real sense of ourselves. Even if it's painful to look at yourself and to deal with the shadow, the healing is necessary. Even myself, I'm not at the highest on the spectrum of how vibrant is. I'm very, very vibrant. Today I'm on and I'm a Libra as well, so I'm on the scale. So I'm not high up there and I'm not so down low. Okay, I'm kind of like in the middle. And I'm not really a big fan of the sort of in the middle type of vibe, but these times allow me to see myself and allow me to aspire back again to the vibrant that I know and love, and that my friends know and love, where the spark and the energy and the brightness behind my eyes and my energy is just full. If I didn't have the low days, then I wouldn't have so much to be thankful for when I'm having the great days and I feel fantastic and I feel like, oh wow, and I'm thankful for every breath. Although you're supposed to be thankful every day, there are times when our energy levels feel low, we feel trapped, we feel like things ain't going right, maybe there might be issues in the home, worries about work and finance, where we're going. Am I on the right path? Am I following my true purpose? All of that comes into play when we're dealing with this Taurus new moon and actually what it's going to be bringing about, because patience, like I said, is a key thing. And I think if we didn't have to stay inside, obviously I know that There are some people who are not adhering to all the rules for many different reasons, and I don't fight down anybody for their choices in this time. I just say to stay safe is the main thing. But it's really all about, like I said, if we didn't have this time to be quiet, have some stillness, then this patience won't really be built, because in this particular time, we're having to slow down. Everything is locked down. When everything was sped up, walking around the city was it was a complete mazza. It's not a place I like to go very often. I'm not a city girl. I like to stay in my little area, adventure out. I like to travel when I can. But the hustle and bustle of the Oxford streets and the Piccadillys and all of that, confusion, angst, a lot of that negative energy, everybody's in a rush trying to get to somewhere, in a huge rush, not considering who they're stepping over, knocking, who they are. Do you see what I mean? There's a lot of that. So now, where the streets are calm and there's less people on the roads, less people on the buses, it's less of that energy out there. So if in your homes we can start cultivating this energy of love, compassion, manifestation, visualization, if we can home in on that energy in our small clusters and keep permeating that energies within our homes, we are sending out a huge beacon of light, this huge energy that's coming out from the top of our homes, and we're illuminating. And each one of us, in our own ways, are illuminating the universe. So vibrate on what you want to see. Don't vibrate on the sadness of of um of all the passings of the COVID-19, or people who are passing that's not from COVID-19. It's a sad time. It's a frightening time. It's unsettling. This is a time when we're not quite sure what's going to happen. And life as we know it is not going to ever be the same again, you know? And for some of us, it can be total dread. And for some of us who are vibrating from a place where this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to get strong in the mind, have some fortitude, allow myself not to be swayed by the general consensus. Don't let media knock my energy so low that I feel like, so what's it all for then, if I'm not going to be able to be the full extent of myself? If we were going to be policed so hard, what is the point of me it wanting to excel? Is that ever going to be a real possibility if we are going to be policed like this? If it's going to become a real controlled situation? If we're having a taster of what's to come. Some people may as well start trying to get used to this indoors life, because imagine if they now just extend it again. There's not much we can do. If the schools are still closed and the workplaces are not open, gyms are not open, libraries, restaurants, bars, clubs, parks, things like that, all our leisure things, all the things that we do to keep going, that we keep doing so that we don't have to deal with ourselves. All of the things we put in place to say, I am so busy that I wasn't able to look after me. I was so busy that I weren't able to go to that doctor's appointment for myself. I felt this pain for months, years. That speaks to myself. I've done that before. I've been so busy with work that I haven't looked after myself. Not thinking that if I look after myself first, then there's going to be less likely that I'm going to need time off later to recuperate from pushing my body to levels that I should probably never have done. Not for any corporation, not for any business, because the first person you're supposed to look after is yourself. If you can't love yourself first, then how are you supposed to love anybody else? You have to fill your cup so that you're able to share, not keep pouring from our cup and knowing that it's little next to empty. But we're still giving and giving and giving. We can still give to these corporations. We can give to other people. We can give to our spouses. We can give to our children. We can give. But when it comes to ourselves and really looking about what do we want? Am I taking care of me? Am I giving myself a fair shot at life? Have I given myself a fair chance at taking whatever it is that you want to do to the next level? This is what I mean about planting those seeds. Start putting it down. If it's even like you want to build a radio station or you want to have your own, whatever it is, how do I do it? How has other people done it? How do I set myself apart from everybody else that's doing this thing? And that's the type of energy that we're coming from. That's the type of vibration that's going to keep aiding us to make those changes for the better, for everybody involved. And that's kind of where the energy has taken me this evening. I would have probably felt so unsettled laying in my bed and not being able to say my message just because I didn't feel at my 100% vibrant empress. I didn't feel like coming on with all my but it's not always about that. It's about being true to yourself, and I'm being true to myself in this moment. I don't feel 100% because I'm working through my things. I'm going through my own healings. Yeah, I'm making sure that I'm taking care of me. Okay, and I'm deciding that I'm not going to just not allow myself to express myself just because I'm not at my 100%. I'm a bit at a lower ebb than I would have liked. But tomorrow's another day. In a couple of minutes, it's going to be a brand new day. I sleep, get up, get to work again, and then spend some time on me. I've got my son here. We spend some family time together, and we keep going from there. But the energy of it today was just like, you need to go on. I didn't know what was going to come out. I've picked 4 cards came out with the energies that's supporting us. Okay, so I'm just going to read those out. So the first one that we have was this from the Animal Spirit deck. Okay, so that is Flamingo Spirit. Embrace the in-between. Embrace the in-between. So this is where you haven't reached your destination yet, but you've already left the house. Do you see what I mean? That embrace the in-between, this lull that we're in. Embrace this quarantine, this in-between energy where we don't quite know where things are moving to, where we're unsure of the outcome. Embrace the in-between. See the silver lining. Embrace the in-between. coming like a little embrace the in-between in this quarantine. But on a serious level, this really speaks to me, this card. Embrace the in-between. Where we haven't quite got to our destination, but we're not so at a stage where we haven't moved at all. We've moved. We've left the house. We're on our way. Maybe we don't quite know the route of where we're going to. But we've left the house with faith, knowing that we will find our way. Because we've already set the seeds. We set the foundation for what it is that we wanted. You see what I mean? It's that sort of energy. It's like a very... So embrace the in-between, okay? Flamingo Spirit. Embrace the in-between. Okay, and the next one here is Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. Now you see, this and that are true. I ain't gonna start getting political in here. But what I will say is this and that are true. So there is something happening in the world. There's something happening. This and that is true. Whatever you're deciding to subscribe to. And I'm just going to leave it at that for the political side of things. But in general, this and that is true. And this is what I was saying about embracing who you are fully, embracing the shadow, the light and the dark element of you. This is what this time is able for us to do. Go in, dig. Why is that there? Why does that grate on me so much? Why, do you get what I mean? What needs to change in my energy and my vibration to change things to a preferred state of being for me? Because this and that are true. I am positive and I also can be negative, if you want to put it that way. This and that are true. To be a fool for the fullness thereof. This and that is true. So don't pay so much attention to just one facet of yourself. Don't just resign yourself to the idea that you are just this one type of person because you've been playing that role for so long. Like for myself, I'm going to speak very, very true. For a long time, meek and humble was my go-to energy. In general, it's something that we want to always keep. And because obviously to be humble is a good thing. It shows you that you have gratitude for the things that you do have. But I got so used to saying, "Oh, chum, man, I can do without. I know how to tough it out. I've had times and I struggled all my life. I've got this." Until it became a signature where it was just like I was always concerned, like, "Oh, I'm not really concerned with all of that. How much does that cost?" Instead of just saying, "I really like that. Oh, that's really expensive." That's poor state of mind. And I had to really start checking it. Like, I need to stop saying how much things are expensive. Like, I'm never going to be able to afford anything. Subscribing to that and being nervous that, if I start to glow up, if I start to do things that are outside of myself, how would I be perceived? And then you get them people in your circle, people who you love. As soon as you are bright or you do something different, it's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, this is different. This is new." Whether they like it or not, they make a point to tell you that this isn't what you're used to. This is not how I'm used to seeing you. I'm not used to seeing you like this. I'm not used to seeing you spend. I'm not used to seeing you. Do you see what I mean? And I had to really check myself on that. Why I just, almost didn't really try that hard, because I almost felt like maybe I was always going to be in a position of lack. So, don't worry, man, we've always done it. We'll find a way. We're mickle and mucklers. We'll make it happen. We'll find a way. We are ingenious that way, type of thing. And as brilliant as that is for keeping the morale up in times where of real struggle, and the fact that it shows you that you can have real tenacity at making things happen, and the fact that we can turn virtually nothing into something is tremendous. And I always give forward and salute to those who can do that, who can do without, or can go without, or can live on very little, live within small means. If you're able to do that and still be able to put a smile on your face and go outside and not cause a ruckus and be mean to people, then you're on to a winner. You know, that's half of the battle, you know, and that's a part of what this Taurus new moon is going to be bringing about. Even the Saturn energy next to the moon is bringing out intensifying emotions. So why are we not able to be spontaneous? People in relationships feeling stagnant. There's no flames and no passion going on. It's all samely, it's all boring. We're not able to go out, we're not able to do date night and stuff like that. And this is the time we have to start getting creative, folk. Get creative, people. Get creative. Okay. Because we don't know how long we're going to be in this. They're saying in another 3 weeks. Okay, we'll see. But all of the emotions are going to be magnetized. Boredom, discontentment, a need to want to break free. But then this is what I was saying, this time is going to help us get some acceptance, build our patience, allow us to start looking at what it is that we want, writing our intentions down, visualizing our intentions, getting up into the feelings, the pace of it all, acting like it is already, and just watching it manifest, but having patience in the process, understanding that as you just plant your seeds, it's not just going to sprout straight away. You have to take time and nurture that seed. You have to water it. You have to nurture it. Take time. It needs sunlight. It needs water. It needs care. And these are the things that we need to make sure we do for ourselves. We need to care for ourselves, nurture our bodies and our minds, take care of what we're putting inside here. This is what I mean about the fear mongering. Try your best. As crazy and as nerve-wracking as this time is, vibrate on what you want to see. I want to see mass healing. I want to see Corona finished. I want to see them say that it's been eradicated. There's no more signs of it. There's no more deaths. Everything is back to normal and better than it ever was. People are flourishing. The earth is thriving because people have understood that they got to treat Mother Earth with so much more respect than we have been doing previously. The world is thriving. The actual planet is thriving with us being in our homes. Seas and oceans have cleared up within weeks of us just being in our homes. The air has cleaned up. Think about that, how the earth can flourish without us. But we seem that we can't do this quarantine life. We need to start looking about how we can feed the world better, treat the world better, the planet, Mother Earth, do things differently. And I hope that the powers that be are really looking at what it is that's going on and make different choices with our pollution levels, with what we're doing with reducing rainforests, messing with weather and just toxicity energy, and that's the type of things that is affecting the planet negatively. If we can vibrate on a higher plane, a higher frequency, we'll be affecting the earth in a more positive way. So hopefully this message resonates with you guys in regards to just dealing with the earth better, dealing with each other better, dealing with ourselves better, because this is an opportunity for us as individuals to change our worlds personally, and then on a grander scale by expelling that energy out into the ether, that positive energy, and linking on with people who are like-minded, who want to affect the world in a positive way, the light workers, in whatever capacity that you're able to support people, places, and things to vibrate on a higher level, do so. And to take this time to work out what it is that you can do. All right. And I've gone off into a good one here. This is what I'm saying, why it's good to talk. And I knew that there was a reason why I wanted to go live. On my phone when I did the video before, I don't have very much data. So that video had to be cut short. I felt like there was more to be said. So I'm glad that I was able to say it. So let me get back to the cards. But that's what divine is like. It will lead you to somewhere so that you can, like I say, be a vessel and just allow divine to speak through me. And for whoever watches this video and it resonates with them, that's why I've made this video. Because like I said, I was going to just not bother, and I just thought, no, I ain't going to be to relax. So it was like, you need to go live. You need to. So even if it's just one person in the live and I only get 2 views, 3 views, how many views? At least if it just hits one person and there is some resonance there, then I have done my bit to affect the energy positively. Okay, so the next card is Nightingale Spirit. Love is all around. So love is all around. So this energy right here is about seeing the love energy in all aspects, seeing the kindness, the consideration, for me, I'm more hearing the consideration, I'm also hearing looking at the small things. So love is all around. That's family, friends, and letting us know that we have divine with us all the time. That is our love as well. That is the energy of love. Divine is of love, and we have that all around us, so we can tap into that at any time. And also I'm hearing that there is love all around in the small things that people are doing. Anyone who's making your life a little bit more easier at this time, giving you a helping hand, giving you words of encouragement, praying with you, going on walks with you, even things like that. There are so many different this is quarantine life. This is quarantine life after all. So yes, it's giving you an opportunity to really look about all the small things that people are doing to help you out, and just to know that it's coming from a place of love, and that we must always start from a place of love with all our friends and family and anybody that we encounter, although it can be very, very difficult at times. But love is all around, and there's lots of expressions of it. Even when you watch some of the videos that's been made within this quarantine time, there's been so much beautiful things that have happened, the way that everybody has shown their appreciation to the NHS, the neighbours who are getting groceries for the elderly, people volunteering to feed the NHS, or volunteering to help out with vulnerable people. Those extra things. Love is all around. There's so many different ways to express your love, and so many ways to see it. There's so many ways. Even if you just scroll up and down the social media, obviously we know there's a lot of stuff that is contrary to our positive energy and whatever it is that we are trying to to affect the world in a positive way. However, there is a lot. There's love all around us. There are some beautiful videos, people expressing love, families coming together, learning dances, singing. I've seen videos of siblings reading with one another. Oh, little ones learning how to tie laces from older, like just pretty little things, just lots of beautiful pockets of stories and snapshots of people's lives, and some sweet memes and some funny things just to remind us just to keep going. It's a very harsh time, but everything is going to be just fine in time. So love is all around. Okay, we just have to look for it through all of the fear and all the scary things that's going on. Use your third eye to see, heart to feel, soul to really, really understand. Because the soul is the intuition. The soul will tell you the truth. And the last card here is Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacle. So in this time, we're going to be able to formulate plans to overcome the obstacles. What is in our way from us achieving what it is that we want? What is the boulder? What is the mountain that's in our way? And what it is, and what do I need to do to move that mountain out of the way so I can get to what it is that I want, what I deserve, honey. Overcome any obstacle. These are the kind of things this time is going to really make us be aware of our capabilities, allow us to connect with source. Overcome our own mental negative chatter. Okay, so last but not least, I always like to round off with some affirmations for this spread, for this Taurus New Moon energy, this intentions time, this going within, accepting change, intense emotions and feelings. We need to look at the things that we can do. One just flew out. Some affirmations. Oh, for this reading here. Affirmation for the spread. You ask for one more, please. Okay, I'll take that one. Okay, so the energy that will support us within this quarantine whole time and beyond, and through the Taurus New Moon energy, this standstill type of energy where it's time for introspection, laying plans, laying the foundation, visualization to manifestation. Okay, so the energies that will be supporting us through this transition is I laugh, I live, and I love. Okay, with a mad glare there. Yeah. So I laugh, I live, and I love. So that's even though, excuse me, the world is going through a lot. There's loss, there's pain, there's panic, angst. There is still much to be thankful for. And families coming together, laughing, dancing, singing together, playing board games. all kinds of things. So I laugh, I live, I still make plans to live, I still make plans for my future, and I love, and I continue to show love and receive of love. So I laugh, I live, and I love is the type of energy that's going to support us through this time. So that is an affirmation you can say to yourself when you're feeling like, what's it all about? This world is coming into a place where I don't quite recognize it. Is this a place I really want to bring my children into? You know, that worry about how it's all going to unfold. Still, there is much to be thankful for. I ask for help when I need it. So this is trusting in spirit, talking to your ancestors, talking to the Most High, asking for help when you're feeling like you're not able to keep yourself level, when you have lost your equilibrium, that time when you just feel like you're in despair, you're sad, you're going through your real tower moments, and it's really hitting you hard. Ask for help from spirit, from divine. If you have family members around you, friends, somebody who's close to you, who you trust, you can talk to, and to get things off the chest, ask for some help. Ask for some help, whether it be advice, physical help. I need something from the shops. Like, are you passing the shops? Or are you on the way back? Would you be able to pick me up something? Don't be so nervous to ask. You never know what the answer is going to be. And even if it's a no, then at least you know. You know, step out on faith and ask for help when you need it. I ask for help when I need it. That's an affirmation that's going to help us, excuse me, through this time. Okay? So I ask for help when I need it. Then we have, I nourish myself. I give my body the things that it needs to function at an optimum level. I make sure I'm drinking enough fluids. I'm making sure I get enough sleep. I say that after 12. I'm kind of like I got work tomorrow or in a few hours about tomorrow. But I nurture myself. I give myself love, feed my body with the right things. I'm kind to myself. I give myself alone time and in baths. I nurture myself by getting the things that my heart desires and what I truly deserve. I nurture myself by allowing divine to work through me. I nurture myself. So that's an affirmation that will support us through this time. I nurture myself. So we're being asked to nurture ourselves, ask for help when we need it, and to laugh, live, and love. And last but not least, I am excited for what adventures lies in store. I am excited for what adventures lies in store. So this is telling us to be excited. Start formulating your plans. Set those intentions. Be excited about it. Visualize it. See yourself there, doing the things that you really want to do. Where am I going to be this time next year? Where do I want to see myself? Personal goals, goals for your family, spiritual goals, physical, diet goals or whatever it is, fitness goals. But this is all adventure. This is all about being excited about what's going to come up. Yeah. And not being so wrapped up in restriction Yeah, restriction. So overall, last energy before I leave you, and I'm going to go and get some sleep. This Taurus New Moon. Look at that one card. Wisdom. Within this time, we are going to gain a lot of wisdom. We're going to learn so much about ourselves, how to deal with others, how to move in a way that is focused, controlled. We're not going to move erratically. We're not just going to go on the first jolt. We're not going to let ego run us. Wisdom. Knowing when to move, when not to move. When to speak, when not to speak. What battles to fight and what battles not to fight. When to apply tough love. Instead of just allowing things to be. There's a time and a place where everything, and wisdom shows us how to be, how to navigate through the world without having to without having to jump over so many hurdles, but wisdom, many people with wisdom, they've seen and gone through many things that have led them to have this type of wisdom. So it's like you're called to look at your experiences. Look at what's happened in the past, where it's led you to this point. Evaluate that. What were the leaps of faith that you took that propelled you to the state that you're in now? What types of actions that you should take now that will support the person that you are becoming? What type of action needs to take place so that you build the business that you visualize? Wisdom, experience, research, taking time, doing your due diligence, using your power of discernment, not rushing, but also having faith to move when it's time to move. Wisdom encompasses all of this. So for this to be the energy, the overall, the final thought rather, wisdom. So do take this time to go within, to love on yourself, learn who you are. Don't hide from your shadow. Learn from it. Embrace. Learn your fine balance. So just to recap, the energy supporting this Taurus New Moon, this intention setting time, this seed planting time, laying foundation, reflection, acceptance, growth, change. And even the delays. Don't be so harsh on yourself if delays happen in some of your business things, or maybe made a plan and it didn't go the way you had anticipated. Know that there's another route. Just need to see it. Take your time, formulate the plan, do the research. Okay, so just to recap, so we have and the supporting energy is flamingo spirit, embrace the in-between. Okay, and then we have dolphin spirit, this and that are true. Nightingale spirit, love is all around. Rhino spirit, overcome any obstacles. About new obstacles. We're just letting you know there's going to be more things to come up, especially as we're dealing with our shadow and we are healing. Obstacles will come up, but we are able to overcome them. When we come from a place of love, not ego. When we understand that there's no need for us to fight with one another. Because like dolphin spirit, this and that are true. Someone might have one part of the puzzle and another person's got another part of the puzzle. There's no need to argue and dispute over who's right and who's wrong. This and that are true. Okay, and also to embrace the in-between. Embrace the need not to conform and to fit in a particular space or a particular box, to be confined. Embrace the in-between. Embrace being different, setting yourself apart. This alone time, this time where we're unsure of what's happening. And we are told to laugh, live, and love. So the affirmation is, I laugh, I live, and I love. I love, I love, I live, and I love wholeheartedly. I ask for help when I need it. I nurture myself. I am excited for what adventures lies in store. And the final four, wisdom. This Taurus New Moon is going to bring about wisdom, understanding, a new direction, a new way of being, coming from a place of the word escapes me. But just coming from a place of love and understanding, and to use wisdom in all things. So, my spirit family, blessings, guidance and protection. Start setting your intentions. So it's the 22nd now, it's after 12. So on the 23rd, so 22nd, at 3:25, that's when it's officially, the new moon is the closest to, the Taurus, Taurus planet is close to the moon. It's at its highest point and its closest point at 25 a.m. this dawning. Okay, so I'm not sure if I will do a stay up session for that, like I did with the Libra full moon, because that was a super moon. That was a beautiful, beautiful moon. If you was able to stay up and see how bright that moon was and how powerful the meditation was under that moon in that time, it was immensely beautiful. So I don't know if I'll be doing a stay up till 3:25 a.m. tomorrow, but I may do another spread. So yeah, guys, sleep well, and start setting those intentions. Visualization, getting into the feeling spirit of it all, and then the manifestation. Take care, everybody. Blessings. This is Vibrant here. Please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, hit the thumbs button. Subscribe, family. Take care. Blessings.